Okay, I'm playing this segment first so that you can see without having to look through the whole video. But we're driving with no lights in a charter bus with about 75 people on board. We could have all been killed. See that truck? His lights are on. I pointed it out even in Salt Lake City when the street lights were on and it was kind of lit up, and I said we're driving with no lights. There's the bus called Sweetours. It's a low budget bus tours, like to go to Zion or Grand Canyon. And just be aware that this is the kind of stuff they do. I thought she was driving with the lights off, with the parking lights on, and didn't know it. No, it turns out they were defective. They went on and off. 75% of the time they were off, but they flashed on, and you'll see that in the video. That you'll see how it looks when the lights flashed on, and then they would go off, and we continued to drive at top speed and passing people, passing trucks, going through passes. I mean, we could have all been killed. We were scared out of our wits. At times people were going, whoa, whoa, you know. But so there we are. So I'm just going to let it play, and then I might narrate a little bit. But the bus is driving with virtually no headlights. There were parking lights, just like your parking lights on a car. The bus also had parking lights, and that's the slight illumination that you see. See, the signs aren't even reflecting. Also, there are other cars, so that if you see signs reflecting, it's probably because there's a truck or a car way back. Now the lights are on. See, the lights are on. Then you're going to see them go off. Now they stayed on for a while, and so I edited out part of it where they stayed on. Now here's what it looks like when they go off, which is how most of the trip was done. See, there you are. I know you look, you go, I don't believe it. And remember, this is video. We don't really know what they saw. I am telling you, this is accurate. The phone videos surprisingly well in the dark, and it shows what's there. So this, what you see, is accurate. Everybody was asleep on the bus. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, like at this time. So it just goes on. You know, people were asleep. You'd think people would be screaming and yelling. A couple people called 911 and said the bus driver, we could all be killed. So it was reported, but the cop said we don't have anybody out on that stretch of road. So what you see, that was it. I swear to God, this is exactly what we saw, driving with the lights off. She was going by seeing the fog line and that striped thing, that a deer, a cow, a car with the lights off, anything could have been in the road, and we would have had zero warning, hit it at top speed, and she was going 70 miles an hour, at times faster. Now we passed this cop, and I thought maybe that cop is up there to stop us. But it turned out he was busy dealing with someone else, and we just passed him. The person next to me was the supervisor. She was asleep. She slept virtually the whole way. She'd wake up off and on and go, whoa, whoa, you know, especially going through the pass. Just after you leave St. George, you go through a pass headed south towards Las Vegas. But It's, nope. I thought maybe we'll be saved. Nope. Nope. That was it. We just continued to drive the whole way with no lights. It didn't start getting daylight until after we started getting to like Mesquite. So the thing is that we could have all been killed, and yet they didn't want to stop the bus, have another bus, you know, come and get us, or somebody to figure out the lights or anything. So it's a tough call because we wanted to get home. We wanted to get home ourselves. But we also could have been killed, and we were in the front seat, and we did mention 2 or 3 times, if anything happens, we're going to be killed instantly. See the lights on that truck? That's what he sees. I mean, we were saying, this is unbelievable. We can't believe this is happening. It's surreal. It was surrealistic. Driving with no headlights on. Next time you're in the desert driving like this, turn your head, well, don't do it. I'm not saying to do it, but turn your headlights off. Now, you know when you've done that, like you flash the headlights off and on to, you know, and it's like that dark. Well, that's how we drove back. Several hundred miles. So now the rest of this video plays out only as documentation. So I'll tell you right now that if you keep watching, it's just going to do just what you see until the video ends. I think it's I think this whole video is like 12 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I think they did that with our lives. I mentioned to her that you know, once we left the city and we're getting out in the dark like this, that it was pitch black, and I said, do you not notice that the headlights are not on? And she goes, I need you to let me drive. You know, I mean, and I go, oh no, she's just going to keep driving. She's going to keep driving. Unbelievable. Story of a lifetime. We're lucky we weren't killed. Okay, so I'm going to let this play out, and then I'm going to code it and then upload it. The driver was very nasty, by the way, and other people noticed it. Even before this, people noticed that she was kind of unusually nasty. She ate candy, steered with one hand. She sat eating candy and gummy bears at least the first 2 hours of the trip, and then off and on coming back. And even driving like this, was eating like potato chips and stuff like that while driving. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's true. Just remember, everybody's asleep. guess the only thing to do is document it, like what I'm doing, in case something happens. If somebody gets killed or something, or a bus goes flying off of the side of, or whatever, that I can say I documented it, that we all were there, and she drove without the lights on all the way from Salt Lake City to Las Vegas. But I wouldn't take one of those cheap charter tours to Grand Canyon. Do it with a more expensive company, because if you do the low budget route, this is what you could get. And the bathrooms, I had heard the bathrooms don't work, and I asked earlier, if need be, is there a bathroom back there? You know, and she goes, if you use it, you stay back there. You got to stay back with it. God, I mean, there's a bathroom, and she's threatening me if I so much as use a bathroom. I mean, it was weird. It was weird. And this pretty much concludes the bus ride from hell. This was it. I've never experienced anything like this in my entire lifetime. It was surreal. It was unbelievable that this happened. It's unbelievable that we got back alive. Anything could have happened.